Google Analytics is lying to you, and today I'm going to show you exactly how it's lying to you. I'm going to give you a backstory. In 2022, my main agency, NoBS Marketplace, was doing really well. We had high growth for 2 years after COVID. We were in a good place. At that point, we were spending around about $50,000 a month on Google Ads and Facebook. The problem we had was that with our CRM and everything else we had, we weren't able to actually see exactly which channel was giving us that final conversion. So was it Google Ads, was it Facebook that was actually giving us the conversion, right? So what we did was we actually really pulled back our marketing spend. And 6 months later, we had major issues. Our sales started dropping, we had to turn everything back on. It took us months to actually get back to growth again. The reason for that is because I relied on Google Analytics. And the reason why Google Analytics is not as good as what it used to be, right, is that it's changed. And the reason it's changed is for these 3 reasons. Apple, why they're shitheads, ad blockers and VPN blocking code. And the third one is touch points. So let's start with Apple. So in March 2020, they decided that they don't want to share their user data with parties like Meta or Google or anyone else. They want to keep that data for themselves. So they came out and said, hey, we're going to be a privacy first platform or ecosystem. Well, sorry to break it to you, load of bullshit. They actually don't care. If you actually look at it, they track more things, and I've got an Apple Watch on right now, and they track everything I do, and they use that data to make decisions for their business. So you've got to remember that over 50% of mobile users have an iPhone, right? And on top of that, you have 1 billion people every day using Safari, and it blocks everything. The second thing we're going to talk about is VPNs and ad blockers. A lot of people don't realize that ad blockers and VPNs mess up all your data for Google Analytics. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get lots of comments in the bottom that says, oh no, Aaron, that's not true. But it actually is, because it's not really actually telling you exactly where that person came from, because you're getting a VPN that's then routing them around the world, right? It dirties your data, right? And again, this makes sure that Google Analytics is actually incorrect. It's not accurate with what you're getting. And then the third one that we're going to go through is buyer touch points. And this is probably the most important thing. I'm going to list off some stats, which I think is really, really important. And that first stat is that on average, between 60 and 80% of all users have more than 8 touch points before they buy from a brand. Buying a car, even getting a financial advisor, those kind of things usually have multiple touch points. Or you don't realize the touch point. So the touch point might be you at a trade show, or you might be at a conference and then you see something, or you might see an ad and you don't remember it. You might see an ad on Instagram, you might see an ad on TikTok, you might see a YouTube video. So if we look at it that way, right, I'm sorry to brag it to you, but not only is Google Analytics, but all data tracking is just total bullshit, right? It does not actually tell you the full story. I always tell my clients this: market like you're going out of business tomorrow. And what I mean by that is that you just don't stop, right? Never stop. Always be running around, always try and get new clients, because that is ultimately what your clients want from you. When you're running ads, when you're running marketing, always be putting a percentage of your total revenue into marketing. And if you're really honest with yourself, it should be really between that 10 and 20% of your total revenue should be going back into marketing your business. If you're not doing that, you will fail. And I know that because I've done it before. I've had lots of businesses that succeeded where I've put more money into marketing and I've done well. So my final thought to you is, if you'd like to learn more about how you can actually grow your business, watch this video on how growth marketing works. And if you could do me a massive favor, hit the like button if you learned something today. And of course, if you want to learn more from me, hit the subscribe button. Thanks very much.